that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanic with your host, Dylan Blight and Ciaran Marchant.
Yeah, it's me.
Why do you say it like that?
Your friendly neighborhood Xbox guy. Yeah. I'm
Well,
that guy.
no one called
Always
you
kid.
an Xbox guy at all.
I know, right? I call myself it. I'm wearing a badge of honor. A target.
Is that what you want to be
Come at
known
me.
as?
Not really, no.
No, never mind.
No.
I don't want to be known for
I want to be known as like the superior co-host that could take over the show at any moment.
because you tried and then you couldn't handle it.
I just need a bit more preparation. I need a
Do you want to try
warm-up
again?
show.
You can try again. Go now.
Welcome to the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanic. It is I, Ciaran Marchant, joined by the ever flatulent Dylan Blight. How are you going this week,
I'm
Dylan?
going great. I'm ever so flatulent.
You are so flatulent, it is gaseous. Exactly, it is horrible, but that is okay, ladies and gentlemen. He is a free spirit, and he will blow away with the wind because he's that flatulent. But it's okay. This week, we will be talking about such topics as controllers. Why do we need them anyway?
Go on. Take that one as far as you can.
That's okay. Like, did you ever think about a life without controllers? What if the video games played themselves for you and you just got to sit back on the couch, relax, watch
Anime.
the game play out and tell a story?
Metal Gear Solid 4. That's what you just described. Was Metal Gear Solid 4.
Why isn't there more of that? We need a medium, not inside video games, a separate medium that does exactly that for us.
Isn't that just watching Twitch?
No, but like, just where not even watching somebody else play it, just let the game play out. Like, instead of there being gameplay, just put all the cutscenes together and I'll watch all the cutscenes.
Did I ever mention when I was a kid I was obsessed with like taking cutscenes and like cutting them together? This was a very early like Dylan becoming interested in editing.
You've not mentioned this.
So I had I made DVDs of Kingdom Hearts 1,
Okay.
Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, 9, and the Sopranos game. And
Wait, there was a Sopranos game?
didn't you know this? It took place between like seasons 4 and 5.
I did not know that there was such a thing.
Okay, well, let me walk you through this whole story.
Right, let's go.
Sopranos
All
game.
right, this is right.
I pick up the game. This is PS2 game for those that don't know. Sopranos, for those who don't know, was a HBO television series about gangsters. Current period. Well, not like 2018, but like 2000s, 1990s, whatever.
You know, about the mobsters like Joey Loose Lips.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I get the game and I work out how to hook this. At the time, I was really obsessed with, I was spending a lot of time on gametrailers.com forums. And you could upload videos to there, and people uploaded gameplay videos to there where I was doing like commentary and let's plays long before I'd ever heard of like Rooster Teeth and stuff. And people were putting up stuff like that on that website. And this stuff wasn't on YouTube at the time. Like this is the only place I could find this stuff was on gametrailers.com. So I'm like, I want on this. I reckon making gameplay videos would be hella fun. The best thing I could think of was Sopranos game. The reason everyone wants to play this is because it has story that takes place between seasons. So what I'll do...
Was it canon? Was it canon
Yeah,
story?
it was canon.
Okay, cool.
They considered it canon. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to basically cut out all the gameplay, apart from necessary gameplay parts that would lead you between scene to scene of the cutscenes. I recorded the entire game on VCR. I don't remember how I managed to hook my VCR up to my
That sounds like some MacGyver shit. There was probably a paperclip involved.
Yeah, man.
It's probably an elastic band.
Yeah. It also the tape was worn out. Like I obviously just found some. I had more than a VCR at the time. Just to clarify, like I was watching DVDs, but it was like we still had a
It was probably
VCR
one of
player
those like
around.
combos. It was probably like a DVD
No, it was
VCR.
just like it was like an old VCR player before we got our DVD player, just lying around the house.
Okay.
MacGyver that up to my PlayStation.
Somehow.
Record myself playing all of the Sopranos game. I think the game lasted 3 to 4 hours. Like it was a short game. Did it in one sitting, one weekend. Recorded it all to tape. When I watch the tape back, it's doing that like whole funny, like where it would flick over to like green light in the background because the tape was like worn out and all sorts of weird shit. Then you're like, Dylan, cool. You've got the Sopranos game on VCR. How does that get to your computer? eBay.
Did you like videotape the VCR? Like you didn't like...
No. Like I'm recording it. Like there's a tape in the VCR.
No. But
and
like
I'm pressing
once
record.
you had the tape, I don't know. How did you do it?
At the time, I had a camera where I can't remember exactly how it worked, but I could plug in the AV cords in such a way to the camera that I could watch the tape on the LCD monitor on this camera.
And then you would record that on the camera.
Then I could plug it from USB somehow, open up a viewfinder program on the PC, and then record it.
This is some Frankenstein recording. You're a little evil genius.
As I'm telling it back, I'm like, fucking hell. Like, what was I doing with my life? Oh my God.
Some kid's probably outside of your window just like, hey, Dylan, come out and ride bikes with us.
Basically, because I must have been like 12, 13. Like, I wasn't, obviously, like, I'm at the stage where I like The Sopranos. I'm not 15, but I'm not 8, you know? Like,
No, you're in the...
So it's probably 12, 13
You're at the
or something.
cusp.
Yeah.
Cusp of life.
So then, so record it onto my PC somehow, drag it into whatever editing program I was mucking around with at the time. Either a free one, like Movie Maker or something, or like one I legally torrented, because I like torrented back in the day.
This
No
is
more
your
kids.
dark past. We're diving into the darkness of Dylan's past.
Yeah, I don't torrent anything anymore, but I did once upon a time. I then grabbed the 3 hours gameplay and I would do it and I edited it in such a fashion that it was like, say the characters had a cut scene in a house and then they'll walk out of the house and now you're in charge of the gameplay. So then I'd leave a little bit of the gameplay as you like walk down the street. But then if nothing important happened until the next cutscene, like say that you just shot a bunch of guys on the street for 20 minutes of gameplay and then the next cutscene was in the house, it's just like cut, shoot 2 dudes, make it out like there was only 2 characters, and then just cut to me walking in the house like, oh, there was only 2 bad guys. So I cut this thing together like it was a mini short film, and then I uploaded it to game trailers, and then like had like 1 or 2 people be like, hey man, this is really cool. Save me buying that shitty game. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Thanks.
So happy you all enjoyed the real MacGyver-esque situation I went through to get this fucking gameplay.
That's impressive. Because that's what like making Let's Plays and stuff, that's what it was back in the day. Like Michael Jones of Achievement Hunter, his first, like the thing he got picked up on was for a video of Crackdown 1 or Crackdown 2.
It was Crackdown, and he was recording the TV like straight up.
He had like a video camera like perfectly fitted with the zoom and everything on his TV screen and then played it.
It looks terrible.
It looks so bad. You can still go back and watch it. And he had some crappy mic hooked up to it, so the audio, but it's still gold. It's still hilarious to watch, but it's interesting to see where that kind of stuff has come in our world we live in now. Full of watching me play Overwatch and other people who are
now it's
far
easy
more
as fuck.
successful.
If I want to record anything, I can just record on my console.
Yeah, you just say, hey, console, start recording. It's like,
Can you record this? Oh, something cool
boss.
just happened. Save that video. Easy. Kids these days don't know. They just don't know. Don't appreciate.
Don't know, kids.
What I had.
You know what we should do? We should lock up a kid who wants to be a YouTuber. Lock him up in a cupboard with 5 items, with a copy of the Sopranos game, a VCR, a camera,
See if he can do it.
a computer, and a TV. See if he can do it.
Go for it, kid. See if you can do it.
See if you can do it.
I just remember the other part. So the other, so I uploaded that, and then at the same age, I was obsessed with making 2 things: custom DVDs, and also custom books to do with games. I'm at the age where I'm hitting my real investment into the video games. Like obviously, as a kid, played games. Didn't be like it was just a thing. You play games. There was no.
His head blew off.
Yeah, well, you know, I played Spyro. I like Spyro. I played Crash. I like Crash. Like, sure, it's like I never thought much more of it. When I discovered game trailers, which I actually talk about a lot. I'm realizing as I'm saying about, like, I remember even early like Pleasure Explosion episodes and shit like that. Whenever people talk about like what website got them into game media stuff, a lot of people like, because a lot of people on the Explosion Network, past and present, rip in case you didn't see the news. They they talk about like obviously IGN was their first like thing, like Beyond and all that sort of stuff was like their first investment into the games media or whatever you want to call it. I was in game trailers, like that was my jam. But I'd make these custom DVDs. I would download from game trailers if I found them or elsewhere, because this is like before you could just go on YouTube and find whatever you want. I'd download like all the FMVs and the video clips from say like Final Fantasy X, and then I'd put them in order, edit them like a little bit so they kind of worked better in order, and then burn them to a DVD. And then I'd go into Paint, or not Paint, it was probably like GIMP or something. Or maybe I'd pirated Photoshop, but I'd make like a cool like DVD cover that said Final Fantasy X, the movie, you know, something with a cool image. And then on the back, it has like a blurb. And I think at the time, if you go back into all my old YouTube videos at the time, I was putting everything under little films, like L with a lowercase I, capital L, and then films. That was like my production company that I'd put everything under. So on the back, I'd have my Little Films logo, and I'd make these custom DVDs, and then I'd just sit back, put them in the DVD player. Also, our printer could like print the image onto the disc.
That's cool. That's
so
cool.
I had like the full.
That was professional.
The full custom thing, and then I'd sit back and watch my little edited together game things.
That point brings me back to a point that I haven't thought about in so long. Those FMV videos in Final Fantasy games, like around Final Fantasy X and stuff.
Well, they were the full ones. So, like, I think not FMVs is like 9 previous. 10 was like proper.
Yeah, 10 was proper. But the difference was between those videos and the actual gameplay is so ridiculous. It's so like far apart. It was so weird to watch. And like, if you look back at that now, there's nothing anymore, because of how good technology is, there's nothing anymore where it's really night and day when you go into watching a movie or a cutscene. Where those had like, you know, Final Fantasy did it, and it was like Final Fantasy X era, like Kingdom Hearts era, where they all had the cool opening scene with
cool
like
song.
a song, with a cool song
Fucking awesome.
Awesome song. I've been watching it. Another tangent. Watching a streamer lately, every time I watch him, is it Sleep? Is that the song? No, whatever the first song from Kingdom Hearts 1 is.
Dearly Beloved?
No, it's like, I can't remember.
Isn't it like, I don't know. Simple and Clean. That's what it is.
What is
It's
it?
called Simple and Clean. It is. I swear.
Simply-
I'm going to kill time as you
to
quickly look it up,
Google.
because we need to know. Kingdom Hearts, a great game, everyone. If you haven't heard, it's number 3 is coming out 20 years from now.
Simple and Clean. You are
There you
very
go.
right.
Thank you. Pay me.
Simple and
Thank
Clean.
you.
That
Thank
song
you.
comes on every time I watch a stream, and I'm like, great song. But like, I'm still waiting to actually.
Yeah, that was my ringtone in grade like 7, 8, 9.
You've mentioned this when we were talking about it, yeah. And like the videos were that far apart that it was ridiculous. Like it blew my mind and got me really hyped and excited when I watched those. Like even just the. Do you remember the
Still
one
does.
in the
Go
final,
watch it now.
I think I've watched it recently.
Yeah.
And the Final Fantasy X one where it's like Titus, whatever the fuck.
The song everyone thought was Rammstein, but it's not Rammstein.
No, it's not. Where he's like, like getting ready for the Blitzball.
Yeah.
Where he's getting ready for Blitzball and stuff, and then
It's fucking sick.
next, I'm on a tangent mood today, people.
I can talk about these games all day. It's fine.
All day. Orin, coolest goddamn character in any Final
He's
Fantasy.
fucking badass. He's standing on top of that tower thing. And it's like the Sins coming in,
He's just
wave
like-
riding in. Fucking
Doesn't care.
Dickhead's in there playing his stupid blue basketball game. Doesn't know what's about to hit him.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
And he's just like, yep, his arm's in a sling. You have no understanding why, all your other characters are on like 500 health and he's like on 1,000 health at the start of the game. And you're like, whatever, he's this badass. And then you meet him in Final Fantasy. No, you meet him in Kingdom Hearts as well. And it's all awesome.
Did you finish 10?
Yes, I did. I did.
Because
I
like
cried at
obviously
the end
Final
of 10.
Fantasy games when we're like when you're kids and stuff like that, Most of the Final Fantasy games I never finished because they
You
get
never
to a
finished?
point where they got too hard. Like I'd get to a boss battle, too hard, wouldn't finish it.
I used to no Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X, two things. One, I replayed that game a couple years later because my first playthrough of that game, I cheated with a Game Shark disc.
I hate you so much.
I hate me as well, but it gave me all the characters. It gave me the bad guy that's like hitting on Yuna all the time.
Seymour.
He was in my party all the time. And
That's
the
fucking
summon,
weird.
yeah,
He's a
that's
creepy
weird.
motherfucker too.
He is very creepy. And the summon he does, you could use that and it would like instant one shot like half the game.
Pretty sure that's what it does in the game anyway. Like
Yeah.
when you fight him, the boss fight that I got stuck on so many times as a kid, and I would.
Was
this
it
is
the
how my
Seymour
brain
fight?
worked.
Was it the last Seymour fight? 'Cause
It
that's
wasn't
what
the last
sucked.
Seymour fight.
Sucked
But
balls.
this is so weird because my brain as a kid was like, would try several times, be like, I can't beat this boss, but instead of just like reloading save, going like farm up XP or some shit like that, it'd be like, well, I fucked up somewhere along the way. Restart whole game. Like,
Oh, really?
I did this like 4 or 5 times before I
That's
got past him.
crazy. I remember one of the Seymour fights, a friend and me were playing the second time through when I played it, and we realized that for the third Seymour fight, all we had to do was leave it on one attack. And we literally like elastic banded the analog stick and then left like a small weight on the X button, and we just walked away for half an hour and we came back and the fight was done.
It's fucking weird.
It was very weird, but it worked. But
Have you replayed 10?
I wanted to. I went to do it when it was on the
Get
Vita.
the HD thing?
Yeah, I went to do it on the Vita. I want to do it on my PlayStation.
I did it
my
on the
PS4.
Vita. When
You did it on the Vita?
HD collection, when they put out the HD thing a couple of years ago, I brought it, played it through. I think I finished it in under a week or something. I would literally just walk around all day with it in my hands on my Vita and just play through the whole game.
The orb sections of that game suck. Like the
Yeah, but you don't need to do all of them.
yeah, you don't. But I did a lot of them because some of the summonings were cool, and the orbs sucked. Did you do the trophies? Did you plat that game?
No, fuck no. There's like you have to
Did
do a
you
bunch
do
of
the lightning
blitzball
one?
shit. You have to do like a bunch of chocobo shit. And then the one trophy that would keep me off ever trying because all the rest is like
Is
it's
it-
possible. You can do it. It's the thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's the dodging. It's like
the
you have to
dodging.
dodge.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I cried at the end of Final Fantasy X when I first played
I've
it.
cried every time I finished it, and I've finished it 3 times.
Cried,
Yeah, 3 times.
Because like even just like with like the and that's what confused me, and like it gave me hope, and I feel like Square Enix are bad people, but like the little cutscene at the end where Yuna like whistles at the end of the pier, and then Titus is swimming up, and I'm like,
Well, do you know what happens in X2?
like they find like a doppelganger or some shit.
I honestly pretend that game doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't want that game to exist. As soon
Yeah.
as I started, and I remember starting that game and getting a certain amount of way through it, and it was like, the fighting system is tied to what clothes they wear, and I'm like, oh
Yeah, no, fuck that.
no,
I'm-
oh no.
Yeah, every time I reach it, I get so annoyed because obviously the one meme that everyone has from Final Fantasy X and people make fun of and like hold that game to is the laugh scene, which is awkward. It is weird. Like
the laughing
for
scene.
those who don't know, you might have heard people make fun of it or like point out a GIF or something. It's Yuna,
GIF.
who's the main girl, and the main character Titus or Titus, however you say it, don't care. AT. They're standing in this town and they're trying to like have this scene where they're like, you know, it's real dire. Like we're on a mission to save the world. Basically, people are dying. Like Yuna basically did this. Previously, she did a really cool dance scene where, like, summoning dance to take away the spirits of all this dead in this little village they arrived in early in the game. And, like, that's a big, like, sad moment. And then they get to this big city, one of the bigger cities in the whole game, one of the main cities. And everyone's kind of like, everyone here is here celebrating and playing Blitzball, which is basically basketball underwater. And she's taking it badly as, you know, because people are dying and stuff. And everyone here is just like, seems oblivious to the fact, kind of not taking it serious. So she does this, and then Titus gets down, and then she's like, oh, you know, it helps sometimes just to laugh. So she's like stands out there with next to him, and she does like a little ha, and then he's like, "You try it." And of course, Tyus does this. I don't know if it's the same in like the normal Japanese voice acting. I'd like to know if it's just as awkward, because the English voice acting is ha 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 ha.
It's very forced and very.
It's very forced. It's meant to be forced though for the character, but it's really. It just sounds. It's funny. It is funny. It doesn't ruin the game for me, because my favorite moment in this whole game is the water scene. That makes me cry every time as well as the end of the game. They get Una and Titus, they have their Titus, whatever. They have this really romantic moment, like when they stop at this place and they get in the water together. They don't fuck. They just have like this. Well, no, they might fuck.
They don't
actually.
fuck.
It does cut away. They might fuck. I don't know, but it's the shot I used on the front of my fake DVD. Is like just and I had it as my wallpaper for ages, like only a year ago, I think, of them just like cuddling in the water or whatever. It's like a really good shot. But everyone shits on that game, and it's honestly top 3 Final Fantasies for me. So
I enjoy that game. I have good memories, and okay. Spoilers it's past spoilers now for that game, right?
It's past spoilers. I don't care. I've been trying to dodge spoilers unless fully necessary, but you can just chuck out or like skip ahead a minute.
No, but like even like I feel really somber in that game where the scene where they're all sat out looking over Zion.
Oh, and that's where or do you mean Zanarkand?
Zanarkand, sorry, I don't know why I called it
when they make it back to the city where you start the game, and of course the city's wrecked now, and that's where the opening cutscene. Like not the opening cutscene, the opening clip that plays before it gets to the start menu.
Yeah.
Is that when it has like the credits and stuff like that, where they got their weapons all sitting out and stuff. Yeah. That's another great scene.
Yeah. That game, full of great scenes. Blitzball was a fun mini game in my opinion. I enjoyed Blitzball.
It's not the best one, but
it's not the best,
fine.
but I want it good.
Good old whacker.
Waka waka. All I could think about was goddamn freaking Fozzie Bear every time. And throwing that stupid goddamn beach ball. Fuck my life. The other thing difference between Final Fantasy X and X-2. How did they explain this priest lady, this almighty savior, all of a sudden being a pop singer with guns?
It's so stupid.
It's so dumb. What were you thinking, Square Enix? Why?
Wouldn't be the first dumb thing they've done.
How do we get here? What was the adventure we took to talk about?
I don't know. Do you want to start with the first topic of the show?
Oh, we have those.
Yeah. I mean, we can do what we want.
24 minutes in, people. It's fine.
Well, the first topic is just promotional pimping is what I had down. I literally wrote down, let me read word for word what I wrote down here.
Okay, go for it.
Pimp Y2, which is year 2 for those listening, stream and give 0 fucks about doing so.
All right.
Because
all right.
Usually if you listen to our podcast, ad read, end of episodes, try not to, try and keep the content to content, like talk about stuff. Don't try and
be funny.
Try and be funny
educational
if we can.
sometimes when we have the good guests on.
We usually just pimp our own stuff at the end of the show. However, in case you're listening and you haven't been following our socials and stuff like that, we are doing, on Saturday, a 14-hour stream. And I would very much like anyone who's listening to at least come pop in for a short amount of time if you could. Any amount of time would be great. Because I'm flying all the way to fucking Shepparton.
He's
so
coming
if you come say
we're going to
hi.
be in the same room.
Yeah.
We're in the same room. Wow. I'm going to be able to touch his face. Going to shove some cake in his mouth on stream.
That's a ban on Twitch, I feel like.
No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with shoving cake in your mouth. Take it all in one bite.
I can't have cake because lactose intolerant.
Oh, there's a lot of cream in the cake.
There is a lot of cream in cake. Yeah.
Especially when it's fresh whipped cream. Yeah,
I can sit on the toilet at your place for 14 hours if you'd like.
No, thank you.
No?
No.
Okay, just checking. Anyway,
No.
Year 2 stream, 10 a.m. this Saturday, if you're listening to this as it goes on. If you're catching up to this in a year from now, because Explosion Network has now replaced IGN as the most popular gaming place. Hi, we were once little and young.
I hope you liked all of our new shows.
Yeah.
They're probably like
the new shows were
classics
great.
now. How did you find us? I know which show it was. It was that show, wasn't it? It was.
So we have, we're going to be playing games all day, of course. Me and Ciaran will be starting off the stream and then we'll be switching out between people all day. We'll still be hanging around because we're not doing anything else, but we'll just pop in and out. But we can have breaks to eat and stuff, and then we'll be wrapping up the show. In the first 4 hours, we're going to have a bunch of announcements. Then in the Arvo, we're going to have one announcement, and then the two biggest ones, or at least the biggest one's going to come somewhere between 8 o'clock and midnight. All in all, we're going to have, I don't know, 5, 6, I think, announcements, I feel like.
No, it's more than that.
Isn't it? I'd need to count.
There's a lot more.
There's a lot. There's so many. We're basically...
There's a lot.
Humongous.
Like, so much.
Yeah.
So much. You have no idea. Unless you're listening to this next week, then you have an idea.
Then you have an idea. I hope you enjoyed the stream and the announcements. And
How funny was that bit? How funny was that bit? You know that bit, yeah.
If you're listening to this between when this comes out tomorrow, Tuesday, and Friday, I guess, and you have any games you'd like us to particularly play, tweet at either of us or email Platinum or mail at explosionnetwork.com, whatever, or tweet at us, your boy Ringo, Viva la Deal.
Or if you're listening to this some point on Saturday, you're hearing this part, I'll totally forgive you if you go, oh shit, that's on right now,
just switch
and
over.
pause the
You can
podcast
pause
and
this
switch.
Shit. Yeah.
Just you can come back to us. We'll pause now. Okay, and you're back. Welcome back. How was the stream?
I hope it was great. How do you feel about beep? No, I'm not going to say it.
No, you're not, you fucking rascal. You cheeky rascal.
We've gone months without saying shit.
Oh my God.
Do it. I like talking about it like we're making a movie. Spoilers, we're not actually making a movie or anything yet. But I like talking about the announcements like we're
there's
announcing.
one of them that's equivalent to a small movie.
Oh, the tease.
Ooh.
The tease on that one.
Ooh.
Stinger.
Ooh. What do you want to talk about next?
You can't say that. Why?
I don't know. Are we still talking about this?
No, I'm fine. I was about to move it on. Why?
You gonna
interrupt like you had something to...
Yeah, no, I was asking what do you want to talk about next?
Okay. Sure. We can switch on. There was... All right. The biggest news story as far as I'm concerned this week, and I'll tie it in to like a topic, is... Now, we don't like to talk about rumors too much. We did talk about rumors last week, so I'm giving my...
Spyro. I got really excited about rumors.
So we're going to be talking about rumors again this week, because fuck it.
Have you got any apologies? Have we misread anything this week?
No.
No,
Not
we're
yet.
free of apologies.
We're free of apologies.
Continue to take what we say as fact then.
Some Swedish retailer has listed Skate 4.
Oh, that's a bit of a boring news.
It's hella exciting to me. Just notice how I said hella?
Dylan's excitement levels can be referred to by how much he says hella.
Because I'm a skater boy. For those listening who don't know, I used to be a skater boy, in fact. And the skate...
Before she said, see you later, boy.
I wish I had a girlfriend that would say, see you later. You know what I mean? High five, sadness
no.
balls.
Oh, no. This is so... No. Why did we... How? Oh, I'm sorry, listeners.
Hear my heart break.
Skate 4.
Skate 4, yeah, Skate 4. So all those... I have a fond spot for all these games. I used to... Legit, we would go... So I used to stay over at my ex-best friend's place, who... Well, I don't think we've talked about in this show, but if you listen to Pleasure, I've talked about having an ex-best friend. And we did the whole episode talking about ex-best friends. But we
replaced him with me. Replace the ex-best friend with me.
Maybe. There was... so I'd stay over at his place and would wake up in the morning and would literally just wake up, taking turns playing skate. We'd play skate in skate. Ciaran, do you know what skate is? If you're a skateboarder and someone says, let's play skate, like IRL.
It's like horse, isn't it?
It's like horse. You're correct.
Yeah.
So we'd play skate in the game skate by passing the controller back and forth, just in free play mode. You know, just be like, do this trick, you do it, you fail. We would then go to the skate park and skate all day.
Play skate?
We'd play skate, IRL, and then we'd come
skate?
back home and we'd play skate again. We'd smoke drugs at the same time, but it's not relevant to how much the game, how much we like the games. I have the so Skate 1 didn't have a platinum. Skate 2 and 3 did have platinums because the first Skate came out pre trophy level time. I have the platinum in both Skate 2 and 3, and they're actually very highly rated on the difficulty thing. But because I was a pro, IRL and in game, got them platinums. You know what I'm saying?
Got them plats.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know what a 360 flip is?
It's where you do a flip while going 360 degrees.
No. See, I thought that would be an easy one, but people get tricked. No, your board only goes 360 degrees. Do you know what a hard flip is?
Is it like it's like the opposite of a kick flip? No, it's a heel flip. No, I don't know what a hard flip is.
Do you know what a varial kick flip is?
Is it an opposite of a kick flip?
No, it's like a kick flip, but your board does like a 180 at the
All
same
right,
time.
I've got you.
We got it. Welcome to Skate, the podcast. Anyway.
All right, I've got you. My turn.
Okay. Go.
Do you know what a 180 nosy tricky thingy is?
It's where you do a 180 and then you do a nose grind and you shout, "It's tricky."
No,
like the song?
Completely wrong.
Oh, sorry,
you flick the skateboard up. You catch it on the left nostril. You slide it round to your right nostril. You flick it up in the air. You say "stunts," and then you land 180 degrees on the skateboard and then land on your head.
That sounds highly improbable, but
No, it's a real thing. I did it.
I broke my urethra skateboarding. Go listen to that pleasure explosion. There was so I brought this up to lead into a segment, which is that if you so the Skate 4 is a game that people like to champion. Like online, there's been polls, forums, people championing to have Skate 4 come out. For some reason, it's this game that a lot of people want, even though I feel like to people who haven't or never played Skate, they'd be like, why is this game so popular? It got like a really big resurgence a couple of years ago when PewDiePie randomly started playing it. Like he started playing Skate 2, and then people were trying to buy the game so much out of like GameStops and stuff that no one could find the game, and people were online like, does anyone have a copy of Skate to buy? Which is really weird. That was one of those stories that's like, what? Like, do EA just start printing the game again? Like,
Not even Skate 3, Skate 2.
yeah, it was like 2.
Is Skate 2 the superior of the skates? Is Skate 2 the superior of the skates?
It is the superior, as far as I'm
superior?
concerned. It had better, just like the areas you went and stuff like that was a lot better. And it was like it had less convoluted systems, if you say be. In case you don't know, like if anyone, sometimes I forget, like maybe you don't know what Skate is, why it was popular. Skate, because you may be thinking, oh yeah, Tony Hawk's. What's the difference between this skateboarding game and Tony Hawk's? Tony Hawk's is like an arcade skateboarder where you just press a bunch of buttons and you land on rails and you do things and you try and get high scores. Skate was a sim skateboarder where to control the board and make it do tricks, you had to flick the right analog stick in the same way that you would actually flick your feet if you were skateboarding. I broke one of the only controller I ever broke on my PS3. I wore out playing Skate because you had to like actually flick that thing. Like you'd drag it to the bottom and to do a kick flick, you'd have to like quickly flick it up to the left kind of thing. So you'd wear it out and break it that way eventually. So I feel like at the same time, it's also a game that if you did skateboard in real life, you had an advantage because you would know.
You kind of understood, yeah.
You would understand the instructions easier. You'd be able to have some sort of knowledge and stuff. Like it was less confusing than if it was a random being like, I'll try out this Skate game because I like Tony Hawk's, and then all of a sudden it's like, do a heel flip, and you're like X and square.
I remember that transition because I remember playing like one of my favorite games growing up on PS2 was Tony Hawk's Underground.
Yeah, same for me. I love that game.
The shit out of that game.
Viva Deal. Look at my name. It had Bam Margera in it. Of course, I loved it.
Yeah, it does. But like, just because for me, the story mode of that game was awesome. It was like the coolest shit that there was actually a proper story.
Everyone hated it, but I feel like
People
I know it doesn't. I know for the older people, and I say older as in like I don't know, the people who weren't watching Jackass or
Who were like 20 plus, like 25 up?
no, I feel like it might be 30 plus at the time, but especially like for younger people, it was like, here's all these people, like they bring in Bam and all this sort of thing. You have this storyline that's more involved with those characters and the personalities that you're seeing on MTV at the time and this sort of thing. And most people enjoyed it, but for the people who weren't in on that or didn't know who the people were or didn't like the music, didn't like that kind of the punk scene or whatever, like that type of thing, that was just like this major turn off. But no, Thug 1 and 2, fucking great games.
Rocked. Even like Thug 1, fuck you, Eric. You piece of shit. You betrayal friend. Freaking, you fucking screwed me, man. But I'm OG.
Whenever people are like, what's the best Tony Hawk's game? I say Thug.
I say Thug.
Everyone's like 3
Thug,
or 1.
Closey. And I really liked American Wasteland, and I know people didn't like that.
I didn't like American Wasteland. Thug 2 was the last Tony Hawk game I liked.
Oh, really? Fair.
Yep.
I don't know. I liked American Wasteland just because I liked that style of games. But it was such a... It's such like... It was like learning... It's as if we were playing Guitar Hero and then they replaced the Guitar Hero buttons with actual strings.
Oh, no, never mind.
No.
I was going to say they did change the buttons.
If they replaced it to actual strings and stuff, or, you know, there was more... The strumming bar was several of them instead of just one. It was like... It's closer to the real thing. And I remember, like, the first time I went up a ramp, I was like, I'm going to do really cool air, and then I'm going to land.
In Skate or American Wasteland?
In Skate. Okay. In Skate, I remember like going up a ramp, being like, I'm going to do a kickflip, and then I'm going to land, and I'm going to do a manual on the way out, and then I just fucked it up.
Like, so to do that, you would have to go up. You would have to hold down on the right analog stick to like bend your knees as you're going down, but not all the way, because then you're getting into position to actually flip the board. Then you'd have to go up, and right as you're reaching the top of the lip, you would have to flick it up and to the left if you're standing normally. If you're standing in switch, you'd have to flick it up and to the right. If you don't know the difference between like switch and normal, it's like standing on your board normally is like toes pointing in a certain direction. I don't know, it's hard to explain over a podcast. Then you would have to hold like L2, which forces you to like transition out of a ramp or a bowl or anything. And then when you land, so you'd have to flick up to the left. And then when you'd land, you'd have to land with the right analog stick, like not all the way to the bottom, but like kind of in a position that you'd be manually.
This is quite complicated.
Yeah, it's fucking good though.
Quite complicated. But yeah, that was a whole process, and my brain didn't comprehend that. So I quickly went back to a Tony Hawk game and then never got a good one. Recently saw a video of Tony Hawk. A, he's just really old now, but B,
he's aging well. He looks the same.
He's aging fucking well. He can still pull off dumb shit and like kids like, 30 years younger can't do. So
yeah. And Bam's getting off alcohol and whatever the fuck else he was on, and is finally in the last...
Is he going to stop looking like his dad? He started looking like his dad.
Yeah, no, he's lost a heap of weight. He's lost a heap of weight. He's back on the board. He's like off alcohol. He went to rehab and everything. He's now got another girlfriend, I don't know, and he had a kid like a month or two ago.
Congratulations, Bam. I'm proud of you.
There's your update.
You've come a long way.
I brought up Skate.
Oh, we got a reason, right?
There was like a transition. There was I could talk about how much I like that game and how much I'm totally for Skate 4. And B, I was going to say it is one of these games that everyone likes to call online for. Other examples being Half-Life 3 or Half-Life 2 Episode 3, whatever you want to call it. And then Beyond Good and Evil. These types of games that people like to call for. There's like a Banjo and Kazooie I see come up a lot for some reason, especially often. I don't know why. I've seen a lot of like, I just must be on weird parts of the internet where it's like people like Banjo and Kazooie. Crash Bandicoot, of course, people were calling for ages. A new one. Of all these types of games that people like to get online and call for, which is the one you'd actually like to see?
Half-Life 3.
Really?
Yeah, I'd love to see Half-Life 3. Half-Life is such a special game. I know. I think it's for if people who are like console gamers primarily probably don't understand as much, even though the games were
because the orange box is out. What was been out for like nearly 10 years.
Yeah, but I don't care. I'd still like to play Half-Life or for them to say, sorry, Half-Life 3 isn't coming, but we're going to restart Half-Life. I'd be happy with that as well. Did you see did you see the Final Fantasy 13 thing for PC?
With Gordon in it, yeah.
Yeah, you get
weird.
like a Half-Life suit and a crowbar
Yeah,
and
and
shit.
then there's also like a Steam Half-Life unauthorized game that's terrible apparently that went up like this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
It's
interesting.
really weird,
I
like,
don't know.
Half-Life
I'd like to
stuff happening.
see that game. It left it at such a cliffhanger that it's like.
I never
oh,
finished episode 2.
Really? It was really good. I
No?
enjoyed it.
I'd
Half-Life got
play it
weird,
pretty fast. So here's the thing. So, when you start Half-Life 2 with the intention of playing episode 1 and episode 2, when you're already starting these, even within the last couple of years like I did, I started Half-Life 2 to try and play it like 3-4 years ago. Seems like ages ago. That's how long people have been calling for episode 3. Like, even at that point, people are on the internet everywhere. And when you get into this game, knowing that you're going to reach the end of episode 2 and be like, cool,
It's the most
it's a
demoralizing
cliffhanger
shit.
and the next part isn't coming, it doesn't really make you want to play it, to be honest. Like,
I don't know. Half-Life is a big one for me. I
played Half-Life. I played the first Half-Life on PS2, by the way.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Same. And then I went back and played it again on PC.
Yeah, and then I played Half-Life 2 on Orange Box. And then I started episode 1 on PC and I never finished it. That's my Half-Life story.
Orange Box was so good value, but it was one of those things that never went down in price.
It ran like hot shit on PS3.
Did it really?
Absolute trash.
Oh, I remember that. I remember all the bullshit that happened because it ran perfectly on my 360. But I remember there being such a big hoo-ha about
it was
the
terrible.
PS3 version.
It was probably the worst running game I played on PS3.
Because it came out later on PS3, right? Like it was like a good...
Like a year or so,
it was like
maybe.
a year, yeah.
Yeah. But I played Portal on that. That's where I played Portal. And that's where I played
everybody
Half-Life
played
2. Portal ran better than Half-Life. But that's when they announced Portal 2 was coming and fucking what's his face? Gabe Newell walks out on stage at the Sony conference to announce Portal 2. I was like, oh my fucking god! You couldn't even get the Orange Box to run right on the to run on the fucking thing. They're coming out here to announce Portal 2. Ugh, that's so weird.
But Portal 2 is amazing.
No, Portal 2 is
That's another-
amazing. I played it on
another
PC
voice
though.
actor that blew my fucking brains, tits, whatever off me. It was, I can't remember his name. It's Stephen...
Merchant. However you say
Merchant. Stephen Merchant. It's like me.
You wish he was related.
I really do. He was so good in that game. There's a lot of that. Yeah, no, I think for me, it's just because I am a big Valve fan that I would enjoy. Or it's not as much, but Left 4 Dead 3 as well.
Okay, out of all those games, the threes, I would be voting for Portal 3.
Yeah, fair.
Like that's at this stage, it's like just Portal 3 out of the 3 of them. Out of all those games that everyone was a big champion for, I feel like it's a cop-out answer, so I'll give 2, but my pick would have been Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, Beyond Good and Evil, okay.
But it got announced. My follow-up answer would have been Crash, but I feel like that's just like a given now. Mm-hmm. But honestly, my third would be Skate 4 out of all those. So
Okay, fair.
So, no.
I'd like to know what else other people love, but there's obviously parts of the internet I don't see. So I'd love tweet at the show at Platt Podcast.
Yeah, podcast, not just
Podcast, fucking hell. At Platt Podcast, if what things you're waiting for, because I'd really like to know, and I can add that to my list of, hey, maybe I'll like to see that come out, and I'll champion it for you on this show.
Let's power through some Michael C questions.
Let's do it.
Has Australia made a good AFL game? If no, will Australia make a decent AFL game?
No and no.
Ever? What if they
I
give
don't
it to a
think so.
different studio?
I don't think they'll ever give it to a studio with enough budget and enough time to make it a good game. Because the thing is, the reason that FIFA and NBA and everything can do, and WWE and NHL and all those games, the reason they can do that is because they worked out a good basis for those games, and then they can just slowly improve on that year by year. AFL is it has so many weird systems to translate into a video game that they need longer than a year, and I don't think anybody would give them that amount of time.
I remember there was a AFL game on PS2 that me and, again, my ex-BFF, we would play a lot and both enjoyed. And I have no idea what it is because I wouldn't remember, but it was a PS2 AFL game.
Was it AFL Live or was that the last one that came out?
I have no idea.
There's only ever been like 2 or 3.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I
don't
remember
think so, though.
not hating it, and I remember from memory it ran fine. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on PlayStation's efforts in allowing console players to stream their games via Twitch? So, this is basically like, Ciaran, as the Explosion Network's Twitch head of Twitch content, whatever the fuck your official title is.
Twitch content manager, please.
Twitch content manager. For people listening, yeah, we have official titles. We just
we just don't.
There is some sort of business structure behind the scenes. What do you think of the PlayStation Twitch streaming setup?
I don't like it.
No, neither do
I think it's usable. Like if that's your only option, it's usable and it's manageable. People of this network know of my pet peeves with that goddamn crap.
The moon.
The fucking moon. There's like one of the settings for the webcam is like a circle, and it like fades out the edges of that circle into the game.
It's all Nick used to do on every stream.
And fucking everybody's done it once. Like half of us have done it, and it just looks so bad. Stop. And the little box that pops up, the little black thing that pops up.
That's.
That says,
I don't even understand when that pops up.
The annoying thing is that anything that it has to put out on stream, it has to put on your TV to view it.
Yeah,
and I'd hate that if, like, on my PC, if I had to have the stream overlay, my webcam on the actual... You wouldn't be able to play
with all that shit on there.
I'd be like, this is annoying as shit. I like having a second screen. I think if PlayStation... And I don't think they ever will be able to. If PlayStation somehow ever gave the ability to add overlays and to make it a bit more customizable, I'd be pretty happy with it. Or if XSplit or OBS came out with a PlayStation app, I think that could be kind of cool. I don't know how it would work, but I think that would be cool. For me, it's good. I think it's good for people to get a taste of streaming. It's a good way for people to get a taste of streaming before you go out and you spend...
I suppose the biggest jump is, like, it's easy, and the biggest hurdle, apart from, like, the cost to upgrade to having, like, a decent PC stream setup, is that all of a sudden streaming through a program like OBS or XSplit becomes 100 times more complicated than just pressing stream on your PlayStation.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, especially, like... Probably Nick and Dylan probably did the same. I was around to help them a little bit with when we switched over to XSplit because I used it so much. But like XSplit, I taught myself how to do that shit pretty much. Like, and I'm not great at it. Like we're working together on making it better and stuff, and I'm excited with the ways it's going. But streaming is not an easy process. Streaming it, like just to start streaming, is a very easy process nowadays with both Xbox and Twitch and PlayStation having easy formats to be able to stream with. Sure, that's really easy. Like, that's good. But if you want to go from a streamer who just streams stuff for his friends to actually being able to stream a quality stream to build a channel, it's such a big jump. It's such a big jump of time you need to put into setting it up, the amount of hours you need to put into actually doing streams, the content and quality of the content you're streaming. I think it's I don't think anybody... I'd like to know. I don't know if there's any big streamers that stream primarily from a console without a PC.
I'm sure there is like a certain level. There'd be at least a handful of people, I suppose. Like I wouldn't put it past.
Yeah. But like, you can't even do like notifications and stuff on streams from PlayStation, and that would be a good addition because as a streamer or as a viewer of streamer, 9 times out of 10, viewers just want to see their name on stream. Like they just want to see, Viva La Dilla has followed this channel.
Why people donate $2. It's like $2, their name pops up on screen. Their name pops up on
screen. Or I remember the first time I ever subscribed to a Dota 2 streamer and they said my username on stream. Like, hey, thanks, Ringo, for subscribing, whatever. And it felt really cool for me because I was like, oh, my God, this is one of my idols. And they're fucking thanking me for giving them money. That's really cool. And that kind of pop up and stuff. There's little minor tweaks they need to make on PlayStation to, like, there's minor and more technical tweaks they need to do to make it usable or a more viable option if you want to grow your streams.
Yeah, I think they bit more customization and it becomes less of a pain. Like the ability to hide the fucking yourself in the webcam or something, and it's still being able to capture that in the background, like that would be a huge thing for a start.
Yeah, I don't want to look at myself when I'm playing a game.
No,
I have to, and I do anyway because, but I don't want it on the game screen like I have
no.
XSplit
You just
up
want
on
to look
my
at
other
it
screen.
out of the corner of your eye or some shit. You
Yeah.
don't want to stare at that shit all day. That's weird.
Especially because it would be delayed.
Yeah,
I don't think.
well,
Maybe
there's that too.
would it? I don't know if it is. Maybe.
When is Escape from Tarkov coming to PS4?
Never.
Never. It could never run on consoles.
It never looks like it could run on console. Just
Too much.
looking at
It's
it,
too
I'm
much
just like-
item management, micro management.
It's one of those games that is so quote unquote hardcore that I think only PC gamers will get into it. Like players, like the uproar about freaking Hellblade when that came out with the it'll like delete your save if you die too many times thing. That uproar, it's because that's what this type of thing is. Like, it's a game where if you don't want you to lose your items, you need to purchase insurance for them.
Yeah, it's a hardcore shooter,
Yeah,
and it definitely doesn't belong. This is not to offend it. It doesn't. It would not suit the console audience at all.
No.
And there is a
If
slight
not-
difference between the console and PC audience.
With saying that, I do look forward to whenever the three of us play it together. I look forward
It's
to
happening
that.
one day, everyone. In case
It's
you don't know.
one day happening because Nick says that he's getting keys, and we're like, well, we don't want to pay for the game, so hook us up. Or if
It'll go
someone
horribly,
developers-
but it'll be fun.
Yeah, but yeah, it's something we're looking forward to.
PlayStation has a few first-party studios. What PS game / franchise would you like to see a different take of made by a different first-party studio? So you got to take a franchise by a
So
Sony
take something
first-party.
that's already a Sony franchise and let somebody else have some fun with it.
What franchise?
No, sorry, I'm just repeating the question a little bit.
Okay, so you got to take a franchise, say like Uncharted, which is a Sony first-party franchise,
Yep.
and be like another first-party studio makes Uncharted,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yep. Yep. That's hard. That's hard.
I was going to see if something just spring to the mind.
Like my first one is Uncharted, but I don't know who I'd want to make it.
Do you really want another Uncharted game?
No, not really. Not really. What I'd want to see is Insomniac make like God of War or
Insomniac isn't a first-party studio
Oh, sorry. Okay, so we're talking about first party studios.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a
because they made that one Xbox game. Let's not forget.
they did. But they came back. They're the prodigals.
I was going to find you the full list because I'm sure I'd forget some. Ben Studio, Ford Works. I don't know who the fuck. They're a new company. Let's just skip the ones I don't know who they are. Guerrilla Games, Japan Studio, London Studio, Media Molecule, Naughty Dog, Manchester Studio, Polyphony Digital, San Diego Studio, Santa Monica Studio, Sucker Punch, 989, Big, Guerrilla, Evolution, Studio Liverpool. That's it.
Okay.
So, my go-to is I would like Killzone to be made by Sucker Punch.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Third person, not first person, because I don't like. That's not how I'm going. But Sucker Punch is really good at open world games, obviously. Good characters, building, action, alternative realities, all sorts of powers, whatever. So give me Killzone, third person,
Okay.
open world, kind of like Stalker or fucking what the fuck is that one coming out? The third one, Metro, but Metro's not open world, but like think like that kind of
Yeah, that kind of gritty.
gritty thing set in Killzone, open world, Sucker Punch. Got him.
You do got them. I'm thinking.
Fucking
There's a
stop
lot of
it.
stuff where I'm kind of like, yeah,
I'll do the next one. What do you think?
yeah.
Check out another one. Have you created a second PlayStation account just to get trophies again? No, that is stupid. Don't do that.
That sounds ridiculous. No, thank you.
No.
What the F?
You get trophies to build your account to show off how cool you are. Cut that out as an audio clip, someone, if you'd like to use that against me. And you don't get them for the sake of getting them to feel good. Like, I'm never going to start a second account to be like, platinuming that game was fun. I'll do it again on another account to get it to level fucking 5 to be bored. No. No, thank you. No, thank you very much.
No, that would be ridiculous. What are you even thinking? Why would you do this?
How successful are you getting through your pile of shame during summer? I feel like I did this one. I forgot to cross it off. But the answer is terrible. We did
Yep, same.
do that. We definitely did that one.
Yep.
You got an
Yeah.
answer for me?
I'm just flicking through. I'd like to see something. I'd like to see something ridiculous. Like, I'd like to see, like, a version. Okay, fuck it. I'd like to see Naughty Dog do Sly Cooper. Like,
Sure.
yeah, just because they're so good with those characters from, their previous games that
Sly
agree.
Cooper has great characters.
Sly Cooper has already amazing characters. I'd like to see how that translates into even like a grittier game, or to how they would change that to be a more story-driven game and stuff. I think that would be interesting.
Sure. I'll take it. And that's going to wrap up the show. We've officially knocked out old Michael C's questions. We spent a whole bunch of time talking about fucking Final Fantasy for some reason. I don't really know. So I'll just...
We went on an adventure together.
Hey? We did go on an adventure. So we covered 2 of the things I wrote down, but that's fine. It's fine. We've come on a great time. Don't forget, this Saturday, 3rd of March, twitch.tv/Explosion Network. We will be on from 10 a.m. Australian time till at least 12 a.m. Sunday. We'll probably go a bit over, I assume. We're not going to be like 12 a.m. Nicholas Pryor shut down this fucking joint.
Shut down midway through saying goodnight. Just peace out.
New announcements of shows, updates of other ones. Great stuff. Ciaran, where can people follow you?
People can follow me at your boy Ringo on Twitters. And, at that place where we stream, twitch.tv/Explosion Network.
Follow it. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, Vivaladil. You can follow this show, as we've previously mentioned, on Twitter at Platt Podcast. You can follow the Explosion Network, of which this is a podcast from, on Twitter at Explosion Pod. You can then head over to explosionnetwork.com for the older shows we currently have and new ones that will be coming out very soon that we're going to be announcing shortly.
Very soon.
Well,
I'm Sean.
We also recorded 3 hours before this, basically, for another show that we can't talk about. So I'm kind of like losing it with the speeching stuff. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. If you could go to iTunes, give this episode 1 star.
1 star.
2, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. It would be great. Until next week. Bye-bye. Platt. Please watch Twitch.
This February, check out our YouTube and social channels for video content from RTX Sydney, where everything began for the Explosion Network crew last year. On March 3rd, we'll be running a celebratory Twitch stream to mark year 2 of the network. It'll take place 10 a.m. Sunday morning to midnight and feature the usual shenanigans, but also some exciting announcements about new content coming from the crew in 2018. So make sure you keep that Saturday free. Of course, our weekly shows continue with Pleasure Explosion on Mondays, Platinum Explosion Tuesdays, and Grandstand Gurus Thursdays, each at 12 p.m. Catch our live streams at twitch.tv/Explosion Network and keep your targets locked on explosionnetwork.com for all our explosive content. Happy birthday, Explosion Network. But more importantly, happy birthday, man.
Hello, I'm Lemmy the Leprechaun, and I'm here to tell you to watch the Explosion Network boys as they stream on twitch.tv/explosionnetwork.com. I don't know if there's .com anymore. I stopped being Irish about halfway through this.
Is that accent offensive?
I don't think so, because I'm part Irish, you know? And nobody's trying to steal me Lucky Charms.
That's like saying you're like 1/10 black, so you just like bless
No,
up.
me mum. Me mum's Irish.
Is she?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's
Yes,
English.
she is. She moved to England when she was like 3.
Okay. Well, my pop was a Kiwi.
That's fine. But I can go claim an Irish passport if I wanted to.
He was
Okay,
from
what up?
England. They lived in New Zealand for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
My nan was from Germany.
Wait, is this the end of the show?
Maybe, Ciaran.